There it is, Delmonico red. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Okay, number one here is trying to figure out bed height and almost more importantly, ball height, gooseneck ball height. Because I have multiple trucks, I want to try to get bed height, but like I said, more importantly, ball height as close as the same between the two trucks, my two main work trucks, as I can, so that unhooking and hooking is very simple. You know, there's no getting out and jacking the trailer up or jacking the trailer down, because then that eventually leads to backing up and dink, right? We've all, different guys that do this a lot, we've all had that, right? The neck is not quite up high enough, and you tap the back of the bed into the neck. And so I want to try to avoid that kind of stuff. So ball height, the new truck is 34.5 inches from the top of the frame rail to the ground on a flat surface, plus 7.25 inches from the channel up to the bed height minus a 1/2 inch. The ball sits a 1/2 inch lower, actually in the ball pocket. So that gives me a number of approximately 40.5 inches from ball height down to level ground. My second gen, it comes out to, it has a bed height of 44.5 inches, but the bed is more recessed down. It's recessed in 2.5 inches. So that gives me a 42 inch ball to ground height. So I think what my plan here is 42 versus on the old truck ball height versus 40.5 inches on the new truck. If I set the bed directly onto the frame rails, I think what I'm going to do is put a 1-inch spacer in between the frame rails and the bed, and that'll bring me up to 41.5 inches ball to ground height, and that's within a 1/2 inch of my other truck. My bed height will be lower by about 1 inch on the new bed, so that's not, like I said, that's less important. But you know, going down the road, there's no adjusting necks. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. Adjusting necks and stuff. We want to be able to, regardless of what truck is hooked up to the trailer, that the trailer is level going down the road too. That's why I probably should have said the ball height to ground is the most important for me. 1 inch difference. We've got a 1/2 inch difference on the ball height. We've got 1 inch difference on flatbed height on my other truck versus the bed height on my Norstar SD. Close enough. So what to do? I am going to run down the frame rails a piece of 1-inch tubing. And before anyone freaks out, no, I'm not going to use wood. I'm going to use 1-inch tubing. No, you shouldn't use wood as old school. I hope people aren't really doing that anymore with the pin weights and everything pulling. I would not want wood in between my bed, but steel, yes. I am going to tack weld a piece of 1-inch channel, or 1-inch tubing, probably like 1/4 inch. Don't want anything too light, don't want it too heavy, don't need to be adding weight to the truck. But I will add it on to the bottom of the channel. Next issue to deal with is the cameras. We've got both the, what they call the cargo camera, and then this little camera right here. This is for the fancy dancy rear view mirror. That's the rear view mirror camera. And I don't know if you can see in there, it's quite the wild system. I'll throw up a picture of it. So then this guy shines straight out, as you can see in the picture. And the dilemma here is the headache rack. What to do with this? So if I set the bed directly, the channel that's on the Norstar SD directly on the frame rails, that puts that camera right here. If I bring the bed up off the frame 1 inch, which is what my plan is on that ground to ball height measurement, that puts this guy, this is center, that puts that camera right about hitting right in there. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to slice this right here. That's a 1/2 inch above the camera. That powder coat's hard to draw on. I'm gonna have to slice this and do something. I know that's not real fancy. I'm gonna do this better here, but I'm gonna have to notch this. I really don't have a whole lot of choice. That's just the way it's gonna have to be done, because the thing is that camera system, driving it 590 miles home, at first it was really weird. Looking over, and just, I don't know, just, you know, you're not used to having something like that. And about 100 miles into the trip, I got used to it, and it's like, hey, this is awesome. No, I can't. I'm going to be driving this truck for, who knows, at least a decade, at least, probably more like 15 years. Why not spend an hour or two, whatever this takes, to make that camera functional for the next 15 years? So, and if I just covered it up with the headache rack, it's like, why did I pay money? Why did I order all that then? So let's go ahead, get the cutoff wheel out, get the grinder out. I got to pull some wiring, got wiring issues. This wiring for the lights, that goes up through the tube. That all's got to come out and get over to the other side. So it is what it is, and just get after it, get it done. Well, I managed to cut this whole piece out here without cutting into the wire, fortunately. And then I drilled myself a hole and I put a stud in, because I'll use that stud I'm going to have on top here of this light bar, emergency light bar. I'll need a stud to help anchor wiring, so it's going to double as an anchor underneath here to hold this wire up and out of the way while I weld in this plate right here that I made. Okay. Closer. So I've completely sanded the bed with 320 with a DA, air DA with 320 grit, and it's pretty smooth. But now at this point what I'm doing is I have a white Scotch-Brite pad and I'm just going over it one more time. Let the white fine Scotch-Brite pad remove any microscopic highs and knock a little bit of the edge off that might be left. I've had good luck. Some guys will go over, you know, I don't know, wet sand. I'm not an auto body guy. I just paint equipment. But yeah, you can get pretty fancy. But I've had good luck with coming right over with automotive paint over like 320. Start out with 120 and work your way up to 320. With this being powder coated with a fresh paint job, I just went straight to the 320, just roughed it up, knocked the sheen off, and prep it for paint. It's a pretty easy deal. Now, tack rag everything for a dust-free start, at least for the start. And so this is the base coat, the color coat, and this is a Axalta Challenger line. Pretty good paint, kind of middle ground. So this is the, like I said, this is the color or the base coat. This is coat number one. I'll do 2 coats of this, and then second coat is the tinted clear, because this is a tri-coat painting system. So second coat is a tinted clear. And I think I'm gonna go 2 coats of that, and then last is the actual clear coat, and that will be also 2 coats. So let's do this. Now the tinted clear, application number 2, or coat number 2 of the system. It's a clear that's tinted red. Pretty simple. And last is the clear coat. And I forgot to record mixing it and stirring it all up. So here's the next best thing. Here's what was left over. And it's kind of just a rubbery little piece, kind of gelatin, kind of almost like a silicone implant. There it is. 6 coats. I'm tired. Whew. Round and around and around. I did screw up a couple of things. One is, apparently there's a license plate light. Whoopsie. Oh man, that paint is almost trippy. Never done a tri-coat, first time. Okay, time to clean the tools up and get this thing out of the, starting to get a gentle breeze out here. Better get this thing inside. Okay, so now I'm starting to pull some masking tape. You see I kind of have a line here. Not a big deal. A little bit of overspray in the bed. The wall, that's kind of sloppy. Why didn't you just bag the whole thing? My plan here is to just make a nice line. That's what I need. I need a nice red to black line, which the tape should give here. And then inside the bed here, I'm going to go with, I think, Herculiner. I'm going to do a roll-on bed liner. And so that's why this all down in here wasn't all that critical. I don't know why that's so satisfying. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the other thing is I wound up and I did not pull the diamond plate down there. I did not pull it off. I masked it all. I got this side off already. The reason why, yeah, I would have liked to have gotten it off. Oh, I got a little red spot. I gotta take that off. I would have liked to have taken it off. The problem is that I did actually drill on the other side the rivets on one piece. Pop the rivets out. Okay, get the rivets off, it comes out. No, they use that heavy duty grayish black 3M double stick like tape. It's like a 1/16 of an inch or even an 1/8 inch thick. That stuff's like super sticky. It's good stuff, and it's all over the whole thing on the inside. It would have been an absolute mess trying to get that off there. Be lucky if I didn't bend the diamond plate, because it's just cosmetic diamond plate. It's not very thick. Probably would have bent it all up and everything. And I'm pretty happy with my mask job. It came out good. And so, hey, some things, it's nice when you get it, you know, everything pretty much out of your way, but sometimes you got to mask stuff off too. So real happy with the results. This looks so good. So good.